In the last episode on the Porsche 911 GT3, we finished painting the exterior and set that aside after the final clear coat. This one we're going to move on to the interior, building that from start to finish with all of the separate panels. Now at the end I'm going to be doing a sort of assembly to show you the entire interior, but most of these panels will actually be glued to the inside of the body, so that is just a mock fit and not the final assembly of the interior. Most of the parts are actually glued in, but that final assembly isn't really the final assembly, if you know what I mean. So for the interior, normally you get the sort of racing bucket seats that I've shown in the unboxing video. I did not decide to use that, and same for the steering wheel. There is a flat bottom steering wheel included in this kit. I didn't really like the look of it, so I found some files online and printed those out. For the steering wheel, I went with a standard round steering wheel. It is the newer version for the newer generation 911, but nonetheless it still looks pretty close and it's a nice steering wheel, so I decided to go for that. For the seats, instead of those bucket seats, since it's not a RS, I really like the standard comfort seats in there, just to make it a bit more of a touring spec and not so much a racy look. So I decided to print those out as well on the Elegoo Mars 3 along with the steering wheel and change those parts out. Now nonetheless they were all treated the same. I sanded them with a 600 grit and then primed them with a black primer from Splash Paints, and then applied a couple of various different shades of black on top of it just to make it easier, and also to make it look like nothing is really happening, but there actually is. So the parts were primed in the black primer, then some were painted in a flat black and others were painted in a semi-gloss black. The flat black will be a sort of Alcantara look and the semi-gloss black will be a leatherish look. So the top of the dashboard and some other parts will be in that leather, and then the other parts will be in the Alcantara-ish look with the matte black. So once that has all been painted and the paint has dried, I needed to mask all the parts up that I wanted to leave in the matte black or the semi-gloss black and vice versa, and then start painting the other parts in the other shades of black, if you're still following along. With all of the masking complete, I could move on to painting the semi-gloss black parts, and that is for the leatherish look, and then later on move on to the Alcantara look. Now it's not a full Alcantara look as it's just a matte black. Normally it would have a little bit of a texture, but I figured scaled down, a matte black look would look quite convincing to go for an Alcantara, as it's not really that textured all that much in real life. So I think this would look really good. Now I was kind of afraid that the matte black and the semi-gloss black would look pretty much identical after removing the masking tape, but in the end I kind of got lucky, I guess, by using the right paints with an actual difference between a semi-gloss and a matte black. There are some paints that I've used in the past from Zero Paints where the matte black and the semi-gloss black look quite similar if they're not applied correctly, but with these Tamiya paints they actually look matte and actually looked semi-gloss. Now wait, while those paints were drying, I still had some other parts that were masked up and ready to go as well, but those just needed to be painted silver. Once I let the paint dry for a bit, I could carefully start removing the masking tape and revealing the nice contrast between the parts. Now on camera they look like some of the parts are a bit gray and other parts are black. In reality both are black, but they just have a different sheen with the matte and semi-gloss. And specifically on the seats, this is where I wanted to have this contrast with that middle section in the Alcantara and the outer sections in a leather. showed up really nicely and exactly what I was going for. Really happy with the way that it turned out, and could then move on to applying some decals. Now for some of the trim, you could choose various different options. I thought about doing it in a silver, but in the end I still am a big fan of carbon fiber, and specifically for the interior trims on these Porsches, I really like the way that looks. So I just made some custom templates, cut them out of the decal sheet from Scale Production, and started applying them. Once those carbon fiber decal details were done, I could move on to applying the decals from the kit for the various buttons, some of the instruments, and all other details all around for the interior. Now since I already went for a pretty dark colored interior with the black on black and then the carbon fiber accents, I figured a bit of silver wouldn't hurt, where a lot of these standard cars have the silver. So for the door handles, I painted them silver, and also some of the smaller trim pieces around all of the air vents and on the steering wheel, those were all done in silver as well, along with the shift knob. Now this is an automatic, so it's not really a shift knob, it's just the gear select. I'm rambling. Let's move on. I painted some silver accents on there just to mimic the ones that are actually in these 1:1 scale cars. Moved on to the steering wheel. Again, this is not the right generation steering wheel. This is actually a 992, and the car I'm building is a 991, so this is slightly facelifted, but I just really like the look of this steering wheel a lot more than the one that was in the actual kit, like I've said many times before, and I'm going to leave it at that and just move on. Now some of the radio pieces, the main piece was painted in a flat black. Then I added some silver to the buttons just slightly to mimic some of the controls and logos that are actually on there, and also painted the small screens with a bit of gloss clear. I could then move on to adding some carpet by flocking it for the pieces that need the carpet. I'm just adding a bit of gloss or semi-gloss paint to act as a glue. I'm putting that on quite thick, making sure that it is nice and wet, and while it is still wet, you sprinkle the flocking in it, and that makes it stick. Once that was said and done, a final couple of decals here and there were done, and I could move on to the assembly by gluing it all together. Strange enough, in the kit there is no decal for the navigation screen, just a small photo etch piece that would probably need to paint in flat or semi-gloss black, but I didn't really like it. It looked a bit too bare, and just to add a bit more detail, I went into my box of decals that I have left over from other builds and found one with some Apple CarPlay from an older Alpha model kit, the Ferrari Portofino, that I built a couple of years ago, and that was cut to size and just simply stuck onto the dashboard to add a lot more detail. In the interior, I'm also adding some seat belts, not going overboard as most of this will never be seen again, but just gluing those in place really simply takes a couple of minutes, but it does add a lot to the interior. And with that said, that is pretty much the interior finished. Now, like I rambled on at the beginning of the video, these door panels actually need to be glued onto the inside of the body itself. Same goes for the dashboard, and then the main interior tub will just be put or slid in from the underside. But just to make a bit of a mock-up and show you what the interior would look like finalized and give you a bit better of a look right now, as once the body is on it's kind of hard to see, I figured I'd just stick it together with some tape to show you guys the end result. That's it for this video. In the next one on this series, I will probably be moving on to the chassis, which doesn't really have all that much to show for it, and also finalizing the build with all of the exterior detailing that still needs to be done.